Atiku raises alarm, says some elements plan to scuttle election. The presidential candidate of People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has raised the alarm over plans by some elements in the All Progressive Congress, APC, to foment violence in a few states in order to force the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to postpone Saturday's election. He added that the alternative plan was to hold a staggered election whereby elections would not be held simultaneously across the country. Can you imagine? In a statement issued in Abuja on Thursday by Atiku's Special Assistant of Public Communication, Mr. Frank Shaibu, the PDP presidential candidate warned that failure to hold elections on the same day across the country would be an invitation to rigging, and that is true. He added that the violence in Kano was a prelude to this plan. Can you imagine? Today, there was serious violence at the Kwana Gangora on the outskirts of Kano City. This is a state where the APC holds sway. They have already started with the violence as they did in 2019, where they forced a rerun and then used violence to win. We also have it on good authority that this will happen in Borno, Yobe, Kaduna, and Kaduna in particular must be singled out because the governor, Nasser El-Rufai, has been prodding his people to disobey President Muhammadu Buhari. He has also been running from pillar to post since his plan to unleash the old Naira notes on voters was scuttled by the federal government. Atiku's AD commended the Nigerian police force for arresting and arraigning APC federal lawmaker in Rivers State, Honorable Ephraim Muzi, who was caught on video discussing plans to attack electoral officials in the state. The PDP candidate asked the police not to leave any stone unturned ahead of the elections, especially in Rivers State, which is one of the most volatile during elections. He added, "We commend the police for arresting and arraigning the lawmaker representing Eche Omuma Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, Honorable Ephraim Muzi. His utterance is evidence that the APC has a grand plan to foment violence on election day. This is their only strategy to hold on to power after failing Nigerians." He also asked the police to pay close attention to states like Ebonyi, Cross River, and Imo states where the governors are bent on doing anything possible to ensure that Tinubu gets the 25% requirement. Ebonyi, Cross River, and Imo are all traditional PDP strongholds. However, their governors are members of the APC. They know that they cannot deliver their states for Bola Tinubu, who stands no chance of winning. Okay, with vote buying now very difficult, the only option will be to suppress votes through violence. Okay, the police, the military, and other security agencies must therefore keep an eye on these states in order to prevent violence, he says. The PDP candidate, who commended deployment of sizable number of security agents in Lagos, said local government areas such as Oshodi Isolo, Amuodofin, Etiosa, Ikorodu, Ojo, Ajeromi, Ifelodun, and Surulere must be put on high alert to forestall intimidation and rigging. There have been complaints about voter suppression in Lagos in the past. In 2019 presidential election, Oshodi Solo witnessed violence, which forced election to be cancelled in some polling units. Even in Etiosa today, a council secretary and traditional leader vowed to evict traders if they don't vote for the APC. So they are all doing this to impress their master and godfather Bola Tinubu, and we hope the international observers are seeing this. We commend the police for summoning those behind the threat against non-indigenous, but more must be channeled towards arresting more of such bigots, he stated. Yes, that is true. So this is the cry out, they are crying out. The way violence is erupting, especially in APC state, Ebonyi, Kano, Kaduna, they have killed almost 1 or 2 persons of Labour Party in Kaduna. Kano, there have been violence as well. Lagos is the master of all. Okay, even when PDP went to campaign in Borno, there was violence. How can we continue like this? The worst is that the APC talks in Lagos are attacking PDP and Labour Party like no man business. It's quite unfortunate that APC own state are the states that are laden with violence. Like during the 2019 election in Osun State, governorship election in Osun State, we saw what violence did under Oshomole's leadership and Tinubu, how they shot people, the violence was so much, and that was how Oyetola won that 2019 election. So if not that in this 2022 election, okay, for governorship, what happened was that the other political parties had to, come together, collapse their structure to support PDP. That was how Adeleke won this election, and they're still fighting to scuttle it or to cancel it. Okay, even though the governor has been inaugurated and is now sitting in office. So APC has been known for violence. Just like Frank Shaibu is saying here, after failing Nigerians for good 8 years, the only thing they can do to hold on to power is by fomenting trouble, by causing trouble everywhere, causing election violence so that INEC could be forced to say either election is conclusive or postponed and by elections to be held at various different dates. That is not what we want, because that is what APC wants, so that they can use it to fine-tune their process, their rigging processes to win. But it's not going to work. It is not going to work. Okay? It is not going to work. You can't be making trouble. You can't, because vote buying is not working for them. Normally, the two tools they use is vote buying and then electoral violence. Look at what happened in Lagos now, okay? And that is why Peter Obi is trying to felicitate with families of supporters that have been lost, okay? It's quite unfortunate. Now, on the day the Labour Party had a grand finale or grand rally in Lagos, they attacked Labour Party members. Now, they have amputated one person's hand because of that attack at the theatre around Jakonde Junction there. How can you continue like this? A Labour Party senatorial candidate has been killed now in Enugu State. How can you continue like this? Killed and burnt with 5 other supporters. Victoria Chitens was killed, a Labour Party supporter in Kaduna State. How can we continue like this? And all of this, if you go and trace it, they are not far-fetched. They are politically motivated cases. And most of them happen, greater percent of them happen under APC watch in APC state. How can we continue like this? So, and I'm sure this cry that Frank Shaibu is crying out on behalf of Atiku is correct. If we don't shout out now, they will not know that people are seeing what they are doing. El-Rufai has been playing, and if you saw what's happening between El-Rufai in Kaduna and Zamfara State and Kogi State APCs, you see how they have been fighting presidency, even though they are part of the government of APC. We saw what Dakwa Abiodun did in Ogun State, sharing envelopes, okay? And we saw how that led to violence in Shagamu, in Ogun State. And he came out to say his PDP is the cause. Meanwhile, they saw where they were giving people envelopes, and envelopes of old 1,000 naira notes. So vote buying and electoral violence is APC logos, okay? But now that the vote buying is going to be very difficult because of what federal government is doing with the Emefiele, they are resorting to violence. This has to be stopped. That is truth. We can't continue like this. Somebody saying Buhari is trying his best to give us free and fair election, but APC riggers do not want it to happen. But God will shame them this Saturday. That's true. Some by your own imagination, but you never said anything about IPOB that are killing everyone aside because of election. Don't you know that you are not only these are APC person, people that have given money. Somebody say, what do you believe? The words of politicians? Fake alarm. Can you imagine? So the man is raising fake alarm. Somebody says Atiku is the devil. He's the one fanning the embers of violence. Can you imagine? Meanwhile, it's Tinubu that brought out the Jagaban army. It's Tinubu that wants Solomon to distribute materials in Lagos. So who has more opportunity to cause trouble now? This guy is already smelling defeat. Thank God he accepts the fact that APC holds sway in Kano and other northern states. Can you imagine? All these are APC people commenting here. The truth is that we don't want both APC and PDP. Okay, we want a different party altogether that has not done anything in government since. Let us test a new ground, test a new set of people. Okay, that is our submission. We don't want PDP, we don't want APC. They are birds of the same feather. They are the same people migrating from PDP to APC, APC back to PDP, and now they want to migrate back and forth. That is the truth. So that is what is happening here. Frank Shaibu is crying out now on behalf of Atiku Abubakar how APC is planning to ferment trouble so that elections can be postponed in some parts of the country. So thank you for listening, and let's have a comment.